Hmm. Now, I was getting ready to talk about this, and I'm back, and we live. Hopefully, y'all can hear me nice and clear. I know in the previous stream had some difficulties with a couple things, but nevertheless, man, was able to get it corrected, man. Um, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit the notifications so that you're able to get all of my videos and all of my content. Now, this isn't anything new, okay? Like when we talk about an NBA team that's constructed together, full of a whole bunch of players with different personalities per se and different egos. Um, Somebody's gonna catch the blame. Let's take it back. Let's take it back for a moment, right? One example is with the Miami Heat when Chris Bosh, LeBron James, and D Wade had got together every other month or every other couple of months, somebody was putting the blame on somebody, right? Now with Miami, the majority of the blame and the person that tended to get the most backlash when things weren't going right was Chris Bosh. But from week to week, sometimes they would talk about Eric Spoelstra, and the fact that okay, well maybe he's not a good coach and all of that other stuff when they struggle. Then they would talk about D Wade because they would be like, well, D Wade being too passive, or even bringing up the injuries, and is he still the same Flash, or is he still the same guy, and all of this other stuff, especially especially the second year more so than the first. Then we could also talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers, right? Um, and I'm not going to exclude LeBron. People think that the media, doesn't go at LeBron as hard, of course, but they were getting on LeBron, especially you know about the chosen one and the frozen one and stuff like that. They were all on LeBron then. Okay, you gotta understand that the media was heavily talking about that to this day, and then also to the point where Skip, you already know that he's gonna say it almost in every debate that he goes at with either Shannon or anybody, Shannon Sharp or anybody else. You just know he's gonna come with it. He's gonna say the chosen one turns into the frozen one. So they were on LeBron pretty heavy too. Now with Cleveland, there was a blame game every single week. If it wasn't David Blatt, who eventually ended up getting fired, it was Ty Lue. If it wasn't Ty Lue, then okay, people would talk about Kyrie Irving. If it wasn't Kyrie Irving, then they would talk about Kevin Love. If it wasn't Kevin Love, then they talk about J.R. Smith. If it wasn't J.R. Smith, then they would talk about Iman Shumpert or Tristan Thompson. For every other week it was somebody else. right? Right here in this situation, okay? Let's just go in sequence. From the get, from the get, people were already ready to make Russell Westbrook the doormat, the punching bag, the fall guy, so to speak, the guy that gets blamed for everything. They was already ready to, even before he had even bounced the ball, they were already saying that this was going to be a messed up situation. They weren't willing to give it a chance anyway because of Russell Westbrook's track record. Okay, this is even before the season started. Then on top of that, people already didn't respect the championship that the Lakers had. So naturally, they weren't taking the Lakers seriously, especially teams and or especially fans that were amongst the teams of the Western Conference, like the Phoenixes and like the Clippers and all these other teams and stuff like that. They weren't taking the championship seriously, and the majority of people, you have people calling, the Mickey Mouse Championship or Disney World Championship, all this other stuff. Shaq saying it should be an asterisk by the championship, things of that nature. And then you got AD. I'm talking about before everything. Before everything, started. Everybody started getting the blame. You got AD, who is not durable, stays injured, stays hurt. People calling him soft, all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Even, I mean, before the season started. Okay, now let's get into the season. Okay, from the get, it was Russell Westbrook. It was Russell Westbrook. They were all on him. I mean, everybody was going in a frenzy. They still kind of are, especially after he got benched yesterday against the Pacers. Then they go to AD. It was AD. It was a combination of of AD and Russell Westbrook. You know what I'm saying? And then also a little bit. Well, they didn't really talk about Melo that much, but they have gotten on Melo. Matter of fact, they got on Melo yesterday about the poor defense that he did play, and he did play poor defensively. While he was okay on offense, he played poorly on defense. Now, what's the media doing? They want to try to cover things up. They want to try to say that Frank Vogel's job is safe and everything, but we all know that that's just a cover up. That's just smoke screens because Frank Vogel is probably going to be gone by the end of the year, and if the Lakers even struggle before that, I wouldn't be surprised if they go ahead and get rid of Frank Vogel before then, and then have David Fischel coach. But that's not going to make anything better. Look, I like David Fischel. I think he's a great guy. Um, like what he's about and everything, but he's not going to make anything better, and he's not the answer. But basically, what I'm saying is that every other week it's a blame game with everybody. Even we talk about LeBron. Listen, they've tried to steal Two Raw's talking points. Shout out to Two Raw. They've stole consistently Two Raw's talking points, and when they say that LeBron, his points, while he's putting up all these points and everything like that, they're not impactful. So he's been to blame. They've gotten on LeBron about him stat padding and stuff like that. Same thing that they said about Russell Westbrook. So this isn't anything new. Every week is somebody different. You know, if it's not Russell Westbrook, then it's AD being hurt. If it's not AD being hurt, then it's Carmelo. Oh, he's a shell of himself. He's old. He can't do this. He can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Even talking about some of the, the bench players. They talked about Rondo for a little bit. You know, but it's been heavily dominated in talking about Russell Westbrook and talking about Frank Vogel and AD as well. Now they have a different energy now as it pertains to AD because some people are actually ready for AD to come back. They're anxious to see. They're reaching for anything right now that can give them, some sort of hope. But this is how it's always been. Somebody's ready to blame this person, ready to blame that person. No, don't put the blame on Russell Westbrook. Don't put the blame on because I think there was somebody that said, yeah, Russell Westbrook is 50% of the problem. That's not the case. Russell Westbrook is not 50% of the problem. And look, has Russell Westbrook played tumultuous? Yeah, he has. Hasn't been the same, but it's still a team game. It's still a team game, no matter what. And guess who constructed this together? It was LeBron, in which that's another blame that's being placed on another individual. My thing is this, man. What happened to just shutting up, not saying anything, and going out there and proving them wrong? Should have kept the same energy. Maybe Magic Johnson needs to always have a come to Jesus speech with y'all every single day. So that way you'll be able to play like you did when you beat Utah. Maybe that should happen. Because as far as I'm concerned right now, look, the way things are going, I don't see it happening. It would be one thing, man, if they were losing and it was an effort that was involved every single night. Like for instance, last night when the Clippers lost against the Nuggets, they actually put in effort. I'm speaking of the Clippers when they lost because they took them all the way to overtime. These guys were playing, and look, they they don't have their two superstars. They don't have Paul George, and they don't have Kawhi Leonard, of course. They don't have them, but they're not making any excuses. Salute to you, Jelly Bean. I see you in the building, man. They don't have them, but they're not making any excuses. What they're doing is they're going out there and they're still fighting. Do you see Joker making any excuses? A lot of finger pointing going on in Denver. No, because he don't have no time for that, man. Jokic is too busy trying to make an impact on the floor because whether you want to believe it or not, his triple doubles are impactful. Even Lonzo Ball. Now, I mean, not Lonzo Ball, Lonzo Ball, man. I feel bad for that brother, but I'll talk about that in a minute. I'm all over the place, but even when you talk about LaMelo Ball, he had a triple double last night. Now he did have quite a few turnovers. I think he had 8 turnovers. But LaMelo's points and his assists and his rebounds, things of that nature, they're impactful. You know, Luca, his his points and stuff like that, while they might mean something, and a lot of people think, "Oh yeah, that's great, he's scoring and all this other stuff," they're not impactful. But see, a guy like Jokic, his points, his rebounds, his stats, his triple double is impactful. You said Jokic triple double lead to wins most of the time. Absolutely, absolutely. Because this is the thing. The way that Jokic closes games is phenomenal. Like y'all are looking. Listen, the way that Jokic closed that game out last night. Look, and I know it was against the Clippers. Everybody's like, oh, there are people that are, oh, well, it was just against the Clippers, but the Clippers are fighting. Zubac had a monster game last night. Everybody act like Zubac can't hoop. Zubac can hoop. Let's not forget, man. Zubac, man, when he was with the Lakers, he was nice. You saw some flashes, and okay, this guy can actually be a force. But it's like he went to the L.A. Clippers, and people somehow forgot that Zubac could actually score. But you see, you're playing against a team that is fighting, that is doing everything that they can to try to stay within contention, to try to stay in the hunt, and try to be somewhat somewhat competitive. And when you're playing against teams like that, it's even like with the Indiana Pacers. We know the Indiana Pacers don't have a great record, but they have good players on their squad, and a lot of people don't know that they've been going through their adversity too. The Pacers are one of the they are a high scoring team. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Malcolm Brogdon, who I really wanted Malcolm Brogdon because he's a 50-40-90, but he's an exceptional point guard. He's very smart, and he's also athletic too as well. A lot of teams want him. He's dangerous at shooting, and he's dangerous at the free throw line too as well. Sabonis, many teams are trying to get their hands on Sabonis, especially the Kings. The Kings want Sabonis, but they're trying to. The only people that they're interested in moving right now, like I said yesterday, is Harrison Barnes and Marvin Bagley III or Buddy Hield. But they have players going back to the Pacers, and Karis LeVert, one of my personal favorites, said, "Man, has hurt our team." He said, "Man, Boogie, man, has hurt our team, but we keep fighting." Yeah, well, it's not just the Boogie, man. It's the injuries too, Big Who. You know, uh, See, this is only going to make y'all better. And what I noticed about y'all last night is, everybody keeps on acting like Reggie Jackson can't hoop, man. Reggie Jackson was actually the one that was keeping you. It was a combination of Reggie Jackson, and it was a combination of Zubac that kept you in it. What's up with it, Matt? I see you in the building. It was a combination of both of them. Now, I'm not saying that the Clippers, it would be crazy if they actually started winning, though. If because y'all did win the previous night. And then we also got to look at, Chicago. Hey, they beat Cleveland. What's up with it, Mike? I see you in the building. you know, but everybody's going to try to play the blame game. But see, the difference between the Lakers and, the Clippers and, even Memphis, all these teams in the West, Phoenix, Golden State, you don't see them doing any finger pointing. The media tried to sit up there and put finger pointing on a guy like Steph Curry, him struggling and stuff like that. But listen, they still have a winning record. Denver, that they could be doing all this finger pointing. Oh, it's your fault. It's your fault and all this other stuff. No, Jokic is like, no problem. Still trying to will his team to victory. Well, the pick and roll is the bread and butter of the league. The two-man game, they were killing the Lakers last night with the two-man game because they couldn't even defend it. No, listen. The reason why the Lakers are losing is because they're not asserting themselves defensively. You have got to be assertive. Even the Clippers last night. Did you see how they were fighting? They were asserting themselves last night, and they don't have any superstars on the floor. Yeah, you have really good players. Zubac is a really good player, and so is Reggie Jackson. They're really good players and everything. Ty Lue, he's starting to evolve as a coach. A lot of people feel like that championship that he won was extremely overrated or whatnot. But I felt like Ty Lue he didn't get a lot of credit for his a lot of his adjustments that he made. Um, but Ty Lue is evolving because he's having to do stuff on the fly, and that's what y'all are experiencing right now, Big Who. It's a personnel issue. But other than that, the guys that are going out there, they're actually playing though. They're playing their heart out though. I looked at the Clippers last night. Zubac was hooping, and on okay, Jokic he had 49 or 49 triple double and everything, but him and Jokic, Zubac and Jokic were going at it. It's just that when it comes to Joker, he can stretch the floor and he's real dangerous. He can step out and shoot. He could post you up. He could shoot the mid range, turn around one leg. He could get in the lane and do the up and under. He can pass the ball just like he on that sequence when he passed the rock to Aaron Gordon. That was a huge play, and nobody gives props to Aaron Gordon for hitting that shot um, to seal the deal. But that's what ended it. But what did that pass from? It came from Jokic, and that's what separates a guy like Jokic from a guy like Zubac. Not taking anything away from Zubac because I like Zubac's game. But the reason why I bring those teams up, though, Big Who, Matt, Jellybean, everybody else that's listening, and Mike, these teams are sitting up here and they're fighting. They're doing everything that they can to try to win, and they're not making any excuses. Chicago, they're not making any excuses. They're gonna be out. They're gonna be without Lonzo Ball for a while. You think they got time to make excuses? No, they don't. They don't have time to make any excuses. They're not finger pointing. They're not pointing at their coach and all this other stuff. Look, Frank Vogel has always been defensive minded, and he's always been X's and O's. He's not he's not a guy that like a Phil Jackson or any of that that can manage personalities and all that other stuff, man. That's not him. He wasn't, okay. He got the championship, but a lot of people really don't respect that championship. Look, I give him props for winning the championship. You know, yeah, I don't. I know we all tease it and say bubble ring and everything like that. But look, if any other team would have won in the bubble, then what would they be saying about them? So we have to look at it like that. What's BS? Wait, what? Because it's a blame game every other week. If, like I said, if it's not Russell Westbrook who has consistently received all of the blame, then hey, then it's AD. If it's not AD, it's Frank Vogel. If it's not Frank Vogel, then they got somebody. Okay, well, hey, we might as well go ahead and say something about LeBron. But really, the only thing that you say about LeBron is that he's stat patting or whatnot, or worried about his stats, or concerned with scoring or something like that. And also Melo too. They talk about Melo. They were talking about Melo last night. I mean, they were talking about how, and Melo hasn't been great on defense. He hasn't. I mean, but that never was his calling card. But at the same token, I mean, come on, man. Listen, you didn't bring Melo over there to be a lockdown defender. Even Trevor Ariza. You listen, in his later years, yeah, he can do only so much. But Trevor Ariza is not going to be the lockdown defender like he was when he played with Kobe. That's just not happening. And some of y'all put these expectations on some of these guys that are just it's just not going to work. What's up? Wait, what?
Good, Polo. Hey, listen, man. The Lakers, the Lakers don't know how to use Russell Westbrook. They are blowing check with Russell Westbrook right now. Frank Vogel, you should never have subbed him out. First of all, Frank Vogel, you should never have subbed out Stanley Johnson for Carmelo Anthony. Did not need that. Carmelo was more of a problem, turnovering the ball, missing shots where he's supposed to. And the thing is, yes, you could say Russ only had like one turnover, and he was 5 for 17. But out of them 12 misses, he only gave them shits only gave up like 9 points. So that's like 12 possessions where some of them was a Dwight Howard offensive rebound, which led into easy two, or even sometimes even an alley from LeBron from the offensive rebound that's given when Russ missed layups and when he missed 12 feeders and everything like that. So in totality, only causing your team 9 points. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's different compared to when you got Melo coming in and he's not really contributing like like same value, bro. 14 points. You know what I'm saying? 5 for 12, but mostly came from what, like the first half, like so. You know what I'm saying? It really was inefficient in the fourth quarter. Uh, you got to look at, like I said, rotational pieces. Like I said, you take out Russ, you put in Malik Monk. Malik Monk already should have been already on a spot on the team already. You don't have no particular closing lineup. So like y'all blame Russ, but it's really the rotational scheme of how y'all really want to run. You know.
Well, listen, salute to you too, Young. Well, it's not okay. We're not entirely talking about blaming Russ because I'm going to tell you like this. Now he went on the bench and everything, but putting Russ. I agree with you. Putting Russ on the bench was not going to solve the problem. And then when it comes to Carmelo Anthony, you know, like I said earlier, he came in with a good somewhat of a scoring punch, but he of course was a defensive liability. Now this is the thing. Before I let Young go, uh, uh, there's situations, of course, in football which we always talk about, but a lot of people don't know there's situations in basketball. Well, pick and roll is something that is a situation. Two man is a situation. And if you don't know how to defend either one, they're going to kill you all day. And that's what the Pacers were doing. And the Pacers play at a fast pace. You want to talk about a point guard? We talk about all this best point guard stuff like that. Malcolm Brogdon is a wonderful point guard. Look at the way he played the game. But see, you wouldn't know that by the Pacers' record, and you wouldn't know that the Pacers are a high-scoring team, and they have scorers on their team, but they also have defenders, and they have guys that are efficient. Malcolm Brogdon is 50, 40, 90. Well, at least he was last year. I don't know about this year, but he's always been dangerous at the free throw line. He's always been dangerous playmaker, and he's hella athletic too as well. And Sabonis, I mean, what more can you say? That's why everybody's trying to get their hands on Sabonis, especially the Kings. Go ahead, Young.
Um, to me, it's not only just Melo. And I said, it's that kid, Austin Reeves. Since they put Austin in from the third quarter and took out Howard, they were losing all Austin's the weak link because he gets scored on by everybody. Howard only plays 13 minutes, but you get a rookie 24 minutes, 2 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds, and he's trash. He didn't earn his minutes. But when you got DJ and Wayne that can shoot 3 pointers, but you put in the best line that could win and got beat, that's the problem. That's the problem right there. Um, Also, for him getting bench, getting bench, it's just bad. Um, that was just. I feel like that was definitely, a bad move that they did. But you gotta take notice that it's a different perspective. Because the games they lost in the fourth quarter. They shoot the ball as if they playing the Wheel of Fortune because they stand around waiting to see if it goes in and turn into fans during the last second of the game. It's a bad mindset. You coverage on the rim after each shot, and there's 10 seconds on the clock, and you can coverage on the rim after the shot. And they do it when an opponent shoots, and when there's 10 seconds on the clock, they need the ball back. They need to break the habit of waiting to scream and yell like a fan. They need to get to each shot if he's gonna miss, be in place to get the ball back. The time is over when the ball is released. So they will come up with more offensive rebounds, and you are associating fits with the losing, and it's how they are losing. Small ball lineup requires energy. The bigs having trouble with the pace of the faster team. They can learn to play faster. They have well-paid training staff. They used to have Joel McGee, who used to be the point guards now. Now they don't have him no more. So so that's gonna bring more problems. And like I said, like I said, um, for us, people always down Russ. But I'm like, I can't blame that man. I can't blame that man all the time. You can't blame that person all the time because with his position was what it was, you know. So that's why I always didn't like, blame Russell, blame Russell, let's blame Russell. Like, come on, man. I can't. Let's not do that, man. Um, let's just get that man a break. Let him get that man a break. Just leaves all off him. It's not just only him. It's that who is the one who is who is the leader and the co-leader? Polo.
Yeah,
Who's the
Brian and
Ron,
AD.
Ron and AD?
Well, but
Okay,
you know, AD's out right now, but you know, he's still senior though.
okay. Now Ron and AD. We already um. Now you look at Braun. Braun's putting up numbers. AD is like you said. AD's hurt. Has
But but wait, but see, you know, see that's the thing, and Wade would probably agree with me on that. Look, okay, like Young, you watched Jokic last night,
right.
monsters, savage. His points, his rebounds, his assists are impactful. You know, even Lonzo Ball. I mean, not Lonzo Ball. Lamelo, like I just mentioned, his points, his assists, his rebounds were killing. Even though I think he had like 8 turnovers. That was a down point on him. But his stuff is impactful. LeBron, they're not impactful because guess what? He's actually one of the lowest. I think Austin Reeves is the highest has I think the highest impact on the game when he's in there, and LeBron has one of the lowest. Even Melo, believe it or not, at one point had higher impact. Like a guy like Karis LeVert, shout out to him. Shout out to him for just coming back this year with the kidney issue that he had going on. But you forget that these guys got defended. Karis LeVert can defend. He's all over the floor. So, but I wanted to make that point. Go ahead, finish. Yeah, my bad.
But yeah, that's like I said, the AD thing, AD. So, but it's all valid points. Now that Braun hit his rebound milestone, Russ can play his game defensively. Most relevant. I think their weak strategy is definitely still a little bit defensively, and also offensively. You know, but hey.
Look, what we got to understand, like, okay, everybody's sitting here, you know, Russ. I was already ready for all this to take place, Young and wait, because even from the get, right, they were already aiming at Russell. Where they had already had a target, and what amplified it was him wearing the skirts and stuff like that. You know, that amplified it. So it was already like, okay, this guy is a target. He's already he's gonna be the fall guy pretty much or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But see, then it switched off to AD. AD always getting hurt, ain't durable. Every time he turn around, he fall and all this other stuff. Now the media want to sit up there and try to do this little smoke screen. Oh, don't worry, Frank Vogel's job is safe. Shit, they said the same thing. They said the same thing about several of them coaches, and then guess what? They was out of there. And Fishtail is not going to make things better. I don't know why people think that.
hmm Um. You have watched every game closely. I could comfortably say, um, I disagree with that Friday thing to let him go because some quick to be coming to his defense or argue that the coach can't be blamed for star players on the court can be silly because. But now that I don't disagree with Paul is that the coach shoulders make the key substitution when it's necessary to select effective players during timeout to know which player in your roster may better against a particular opponent. To make sure the lineup is in the game of the moment, aspect to sticking up the same group based on your matrix regarding minutes play in such regards. Because I believe the entire coach staff had done a lousy job all season long. Now having all that, I believe one factor that same reason how discussed is when talking about the main issue facing the Lakers fact that AD's out. Cause because this guy he is the key on both offense and defense as far as the Lakers have a realistic chance of being more competitive and getting back into true um, contenders in the West without AD fully healthy and firing all cylinders, and then he changed and takes undergo trades and firing with small impact. Not the type of impact that will have meaningful positive results, but therefore, I'm not the one I'm not gonna be the one to say I'm bash Westbrook and blame Anthony, man. But he has been disappointing, but so many other pieces of the puzzle. None of as less significance than having players who many NBA experts plays among the top 10 in the NBA of out of a tense period of time due to injuries. Before the season began, if I had to ask you, you believe the Lakers can truly be successful without AD being there 100%? What would you have to say, Polo?
Well, okay, you're talking about what? Bringing AD
No, no, I said, can they win? Can they make it to the playoff and win in the finals without AD being 100%?
without AD. Not a shoot. They they'll win, but they won't go very far. Now, if he's durable, young, and wait, what? If listen, if he's like AD, like healthy with no problems, I stand on this. There's nobody messing with AD, including because he was when AD is fully healthy and able to run up and down the court and be mobile. Because people forget that AD could defend the perimeter when he was really healthy and stuff like that. He could do a multitude of things or whatever. We forget that just a couple of years ago, everybody was talking about AD was the next up to be the best player in the league. But now all of a sudden, because his durability has fell down, somehow we swept that under the rug. But to answer your question, young, he will. If he was healthy, oh man, that would make LeBron's life much easier. Now, to LeBron's defense, just a little bit, he's having to, do this and do that and all this other stuff. However, to not be on his defense though, young, and wait, what? Hey, you constructed this team together. Nobody asked you to continue to play up until you get to your 40s or whatever, and that's really not no excuse because there's been a lot of players that have played well into their 40s or whatever. So I don't want to hear none of this. Oh yeah, you're old and all this other stuff. That's not an excuse, man. But yeah, young, you got a good. That's a good point. What's up with it, True Viking? I see you in the building. Yeah,
Uh,
with AD fully healthy, the Lakers will be competitive. To say that they'll win, we don't know. Go ahead, wait. What's up with it, LA? I see you in the building.
Really?
Wait, you there?
You probably not.
Yeah, I think he. But go ahead, young.
Yeah.
We'll let him cook
Yeah,
in a
okay,
minute.
now
Go
that I'm like, well, I'm gonna say with all disrespect, all due respect, like I said, guys like Trevor Ariza. Is there a reason why he remains in starting lineup? He averaged 3 points a game over 25 minutes of play. For the love of God, what doesn't need to happen is for the Lakers to bench or replace him and another player to start. Again, in my opinion, this is go back to the coaches, just back to the coach's decision. Um, um, and and personally, this is gonna be this definitely it's gonna be very analyzing, you know, on how this is gonna play out. Can if they gonna stick is they gonna stick like this till they get to reach the playoff or something. But I already I already knew the trade was bad with Westbrook. Because I put it like this: Westbrook was a bad trade because the Lakers they gave up their perimeter defense, which is the reason they won the title in the first place. But I understand where they weren't getting their production they wanted from Harold, and Kuzma was inconsistent. But they gave up so much ball dominant guy who wouldn't play defense. Now this is on Rob Pelinka. He could have lied to Bronny and just say, they want to draft pick for us, and we don't have any offers. So we're gonna go with Buddy Hill and Jamal and DeRozan. And this is but also the same also the same same thing with the Wizards are bad now. The perimeters wounders with Russ, blah blah. But now the perimeter defenders are KCP and Caruso, who's with the Bulls and the other with the Wizards. And guess what happened? The Bulls on the top seed. The Wizards they're doing the thing. So getting rid of Harold and Kuzma was a good plan, but bad execution getting Westbrook and his ultra bosses out of the contract.
I I thought you was about to say Harold Kumar just a whole second ago.
It's just a weird name. These people weird name.
I was like, but yeah, I understand what you're saying, man. Oh,
Yeah.
look, and I'm gonna let Scrub go and just salute to you, Scrub. I'll let you go in a minute. We're not talking football yet, man. I know,
I
and
know, I
somehow,
know.
hey, young, hey, wait. Somehow when Scrub gets in here, he's like, "Fuck this shit. We are gonna talk football, all right? Fuck the basketball. No, we talking about basketball right now. Then eventually we get into that. But no, okay, young man, that man, you were on point with everything that you said. Now, well, this is the thing that I think that really fucked up everything. They should have not. I think I told Elder this. I told Elder this, and I told a couple of Lakers. I think I told Ticket this too. Tweak it just a little bit, but don't blow up everything. Okay, well, Howard. Okay, yeah, I could under that. I could understand that situation. Look, you grateful just to be in the league or whatever. So that situation right there, their hands were a little bit tired. Howard, he was unhappy. He wanted his money or whatever. KCP, I'm keeping him. You know what I'm saying? Caruso, I'm keeping him. Kyle Kuzma, I don't care what you say. I'm keeping a guy like Kyle Kuzma. Rondo, of course, I want to keep the Rondo. If you had to get rid of him, okay, he was injured every now and then. But man, the way that they just and Vel McGee, the way that they just blew everything up, man, I think that's what everything that crumbled down. Now another point too, young that a lot of people didn't know, Rob Palinka was taking advice from Mamba. Am I right, LA Live? Kobe he didn't want to be seen as an advisor, but that's what he really was. That's what Dirk Nowitzki is, a special advisor. But Kobe didn't want to be known. Kobe. A lot of people don't know Kobe. He liked to keep his shit private or whatever. He don't. He was like, look, okay, yeah, this is fine and everything, but he would rather do other stuff other than basketball. But he really was an advisor. Of course, they're going to seek Mamba's advice. Of course, they're going to seek Magic advice. Everybody's advice. Those champions and stuff. And I'm not saying that Kobe was wrong in anything, but they initially wanted Ty Lue on that team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Danny Green. Yeah, Danny Green as well. But he was. We all know that situation. That's what me and Young, wait, what we're talking about yesterday, about with people sacrificing their lives and stuff, having death threats and stuff like that. That's silly shit. Go ahead, Scrub, man. What you got on this, man? We're talking about the blame game, the whole situation that happened with Russ, all that shit yesterday, Lakers and Pacers and all that.
I mean, y'all pretty much hit on just about everything. It's not like they're good. It's always going to be someone else, and at this point, it's like, who? Forget about the blame game. What are they going to do to stop blowing these games? Stop playing a style they have no business playing. They don't have the personnel to run all day up and down the floor. They should be playing a more controlled pace. And I'm not saying just be slow all the time, but choose your spots and when you're gonna run and when you're gonna play the half court. You're playing the team that with the Pacers, they score a lot of points. They can run up and down. But a lot of the season has been the Lakers just blowing opportunities, not being in the best position, whether it be offensively. We know about defensively. I never thought it was a great idea to get Russell Westbrook because he and LeBron played more or less the same way. They're not great off the ball, and they need the ball in their hands to be successful.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Young.
Yeah, God, I want to say matter of fact, you go ahead, Scrub. Keep going, Scrub, man.
I mean, yeah, AD's been hurt. Like, would he help? You hope so, but it wasn't like he was playing great before the injury. They're just not utilizing the guys they have to the best of their capabilities, in my opinion. I haven't seen it. Like, they'll have like a good maybe game or two, and then like the next three, it's just, what are you guys doing?
Mm-hmm. I want to say that the problem with the Lakers is LeBron. He's the only one capable putting up 30 points in the game, right? And every great team needs two guys with the potential of one guy with 30, while the others are 20 or double digits. Westbrook have been averaging 15 shots a game and yet score even 25 points. They have to let Westbrook and the older guys, Melo or Rizza, come off the bench and limit their minutes. Westbrook missing shots, turnovers are creating second chance opportunities for opposite team. The older guys also have declined athleticism, which makes them inequate defensively. I'll start LeBron, Monk, Dwight, Austin Rivers, and THD. As soon as AD comes back, THD goes to the bench. The starters are above ones with the most consistent shooting percentage. And finally, LeBron shouldn't be leading the team in three pointers, because that's not his traditional forte. So, and that's a problem. They need a 3-point shooter and shot blocker or rim protector that they really round the team out. Vogel assistant Dave Fidel, you know him, Dave Fidel, should be look at not Vogel. They need another, like I say, Egyptian kid type assistant. That they need team.
Let me ask y'all something. You two, Scrub, and Wait What, if you're still there, and everybody else. Okay, if Vogel is gone, I know people don't want Fishdale. Who do you think? And please do. I know y'all gonna say Phil, but who who do y'all think is a perfect fit for this coaching position if it's not Frank Vogel?
Honestly, I don't even know, because who's gonna get this team to actually practice and play and be a cohesive unit defensively? That's my question. Can you get a head coach that can get these guys actually to be effective defense? I'm not saying they got to be like top 5 in the league, but can they be middle of the pack? Can they actually run? Can they not take themselves out the game at the key moments? I don't know if there's a coach out there that really wants to deal with this team with all the personalities that's currently on it. I could be wrong. I haven't really looked that much into it because I've been, like you say, you talking football, but I'm more focused on the football. But like, I don't know who really
see.
No, but seriously, I don't know.
You see what I'm saying, y'all? Hey, we already he gonna open up that can of worms. All right, go ahead, and then after that, we'll get on football.
But I'm just saying, like, I don't see a coach that really. First of all, they can't really do much at this point in the year because it'd only be an interim guy. I highly doubt you're gonna bring someone new in. So I don't see how this gets better this year.
I mean, some people. Oh, go ahead.
To me, I really don't know who should they hire, because I mean, who's gonna fit the? I don't know who's gonna fit the.
They need somebody young. They need somebody that can manage personalities and egos. And that's why some people, they're like, "Oh yeah, Phil," but I've ruled for Phil out because 9 times out of 10, I don't think Phil is focused on coming back.
Yeah, I don't know who should be hired. I don't know.
But the reason why a lot of people say Phil is because, I mean, come on, man, the man has brought championships there. He knows how to manage egos. You know, he's gonna tell you like it is, and whether you like it or not. And he knows the Lakers organization inside out. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just like right now, man. They listen. They need to stop. Like the reason why, part of the reason why I brought this stream up, man, is because like in every situation, as you look at in the course of history, Scrub Zero, Young, and wait, what? There has always been this type of situation. I brought up a perfect example with Miami, where everybody came there to Miami. When you talk about Bosh Wade and Bron, and Spoelstra was there too. Every other week, everybody was blaming everybody, but guess who was the Russell Westbrook? It was Chris Bosh, right? Because Chris Bosh, they were like, oh, well, Chris Bosh is this. He's soft. What is he doing? Stepping out and shooting jumpers and stuff like that. But they also got on LeBron the whole summer after they lost, with Dallas. They started that chosen one, frozen one stuff, all that other stuff. Then D Wade, very next year they kept saying, well, D Wade's not the same. He's not Flash, always injured, always hurt, all this other stuff. And then they even got on Spoelstra because they were like, well, Spoelstra, I don't think is a good fit for LeBron and all this other stuff. It was everybody was always, and then you seen it in Cleveland. One minute it was Kevin Love. Oh, he having problems. Then the next minute, Kyrie Irving. Then the next minute is Iman Shumpert. Then the next minute is Tristan Thompson. Then the next minute is J.R. Smith. Then it's David Blatt, which he got fired. You know what I'm saying? It's always a blame game. And when you dealing when LeBron goes there, it's always gonna be a blame game, man.
But who's the common denominator in all those things?
Yeah, man. It's just like we listen. You constructed the team together. Now you got to go out there and you got to win. It can't be like, oh yeah, this person. And I'm not saying, but I can't say nothing about LeBron on this instance because he's actually defended. He defended Russell Westbrook, even though nobody wants him in the league. You know what I'm saying? He defended him. But Russ, where he's improved a little bit, y'all. He shouldn't have said shit when Magic spoke. He should have just shut up and just responded well. Okay, yeah, you responded well. Even so much, Young, this motherfucker was up in there wiping the sweat up off the ground, trying to be a good citizen and shit. When there was sweat and stuff, and everybody up in there clapping and stuff. He trying to do everything that he can to win the people back.
Well, I said this. No, you said Phil. People say Phil. Okay. My question is, I have two questions.
Mm-hmm.
Is Russ gonna listen to Phil Jackson? This is the guy that doesn't listen to Maurice Cheeks. So you think he will listen to Phil Jackson? Also, how can Phil Jackson LeBron work?
I was gonna literally ask the same question. Will LeBron listen to Phil Jackson?
And what they're gonna listen to Jackson, and how that's gonna work with Phil, with guys like AD, because he already with guys like AD, because he knows it's not like, yeah, he's going back to tradition, but it's not the same tradition like he coached for in the Lakers. This is a whole different situation now.
I think he would. Scrub, I'll let you go in there. LA in the building, man. I see you. I'll let you go in just a second too. Okay, I think he'll listen to Phil. Even though LeBron has not had a coach quite of that magnitude, when you talk about a Phil, when you talk about a Popovich, when you talk about Larry Brown, all these other guys, these Hall of Fame coaches and whatnot, he never had a coach of that magnitude. But the fact that he was proven, listen, he wasn't going to listen to Eric. I mean, after a while, he put up with Eric Spoelstra and all that other stuff. But guess who he was really listening to, at least until they started bumping heads? It was Pat Riley or whatever. So I think that being that Phil is proven. He's a proven winner, and he knows the most important thing. He's more of a manager more than an X's and those guys. Everybody knows that. As far as Russ, I don't know about Russ, man. And that's my favorite player. To me, dare I say this, LA, I think Russ is just untamed. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just my personal opinion. Now, the only thing that I would give a slight, maybe a little bit of hope is the fact that he listened to Krzyzewski. Like he was a model citizen with Krzyzewski. But I know what you're about to say, Young. I know what you're about to say, Scrub. Wait, what? L.A. Well, Kobe was on the team, so you better listen and all this other stuff. Well, this person was on the team, but Krzyzewski, guess who commanded their attention? Guess who commanded attention? It was Krzyzewski. Krzyzewski had the ultimate respect to all them players. Scrub, you could go, and then L.A. man, go ahead. You can bless this panel, bro.
No, let LA go. I'll speak on it.
Yeah. This is quiet. This is quiet. He said, I got to say something about this.
Nah, I ain't really got that much to say, man. Salute to all you guys. I think it's too late to change the coach, man, because really, if you bring somebody from the outside, yeah. Well, that's what I was going to ask you, Polo. I mean, they have 38 games left or whatever, 30. I don't know, something 38 games left, I think. I mean, if you bring in somebody from the outside, they're gonna bring their own system. I mean, the Lakers already on record. The Lakers have only had 12 practices the whole year. So if you bring in a new coach, a new system, what is the likelihood for success? How's a new team going to learn a new coach, a new system, and try to all make it work in 38 games? I just the likelihood for success there is minimal. I just think it's minimal. I think the best thing for them to do, man, is just, for the most part, I don't see blockbuster trades coming. The Lakers, objectively, as a Laker fan, I can say I don't see it. I think most Laker fans overvalue our assets. I mean, our assets are good, but we don't have enough of them. And different teams, they try to stick it to the Lakers anyway. They try to make us overpay for shit anyway. So that's why I just say the likelihood of a big trade is very low. So what I would do if I was the Lakers is, of course, AD is supposed to come back on this road trip. So you get 360 back healthy, LeBron, AD, and Russ. And for me, I would just like to see the younger players, all of them, get like 30 minutes a game. I'm talking about THT. I'm talking about Monk. I'm talking about Stanley Johnson. I'm talking about Austin Reeves. Combine them with the big three and just see what you can come up with. Because to me, seeing Avery Bradley and seeing Trevor Ariza and Carmelo playing, Carmelo played 30 minutes last night. It's like, what good is that going to do to Lakers long term? I just don't see the point in it. You might as well just let the younger players play. Because I think if you just play 360 and younger players, I think that's still good enough for 41 and 41. And the way the Western Conference is going, that'll get you a 10th seed or 9th seed. So that gets you in the play-in. Right?
I can't believe this type of talk is coming up from a fucking Lakers fan. Did you just say play? I'm about to say, what's that coach name? You used to say playoffs. Play-in?
Jim Moore?
Play-in? Sorry, Scrub. I had to bring up the football.
Oh, my goodness.
LA.
Not even a playoffs. Play-in?
Hey, LA. I'm shocked as shit that you say that. Now, look, I'm not going to put them. I'm not even putting them that low.
Well, I'm just saying, at the very worst, that's what the record will probably end up being. Come
on, man, with the emotion. Hey, TJ Sports Take, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe to my boy TJ Sports Take and Switch Light Media. Condolences to you, TJ Sports, man. Glad to see you back up and running, man. I hope everything good with you, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe to both of their channels.
Polo, you gotta remember the Lakers. The second half of the season, they have the third toughest schedule. So
Yeah, they do.
it
They
ain't
do.
it
But
ain't gonna get any easier. So I'm just being realistic. That's all.
yeah, you being well. I just thought you would be a little bit more optimistic, man. God damn, this nigga said,
Nah, bro. It's
hey,
been
it
some
said
it's been some
playing.
tough losses, bro. It's been some tough losses, man. This shit's deflating, bro. To be honest, this shit is kind of deflating.
I'll put it to you like this, LA Young, and Scrub, and wait, what everybody else up in here. Maybe they need Magic to light a fire every single, have a come to Jesus meeting every single goddamn day, because it seemed like they responded to that shit, you know what I'm saying, right away. They beat Utah. They showed that they could, even though Utah, they've had their struggles and everything. But I like that point that you made, LA, about when you just said about the younger players playing. People don't know that Austin Reeves has the highest, when it comes to being more valuable on the floor. People don't know that Austin Reeves is at his highest right now. And like I said, yeah, everybody love LeBron and all this other stuff, but like I told Young and Scrub and everybody else, his points ain't impactful like a motherfucking Jokic. You know what I'm saying? You see how Jokic closed that motherfucking game last night and didn't even need to shoot the ball. He flicked that bitch over to Aaron Gordon. That's how. That's what we're talking about. Impactful. Yeah, you can have a triple double all day, Loca, but if you up in here and you're not doing that shit when it means something, you shooting 8 of 23 and shit like that. That's not adding any value. But no, get me a motherfucker that's gonna dive on the floor like a Stanley Johnson, who's gonna flash out on defense, like a Austin Reeves, who can score. He's young. He understands this youth prowess and stuff. You were getting beat by these teams that are young and flying up and down the floor. And more importantly, they don't have no egos, LA. None of these teams that are winning got an ego. Chicago, they ain't got no motherfucking egos. It's like, okay, next man up. Cleveland ain't got no motherfucking egos. Okay, next man up. Even as good as John Morant is, oh, he ain't got no motherfucking ego, but he could jump out of the gym. Nah, you know what? I could get 16 and 9 and still be just as impactful. But no, I gotta get my stats. I'm trying to get this person. I'm trying to get that person. Motherfuckers don't want to see that shit.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron,
LA, they want to see wins.
yeah, you're right. I mean, LeBron, he's scoring all these points, but at what cost? Because he takes all his breaks on defense because he's scoring all the points. So that's why it appears to be not impactful, because he's taking a break on the other side of the basketball court, man. So
You always take a break on the other side of the basketball court, though. Not to this extent this year, but he's never been a great defender. Now it's even worse because he's focused on all the scoring, and no one else has been consistent. But unfortunately, teams see that, like, all right, we'll let LeBron score, because his points alone aren't enough of an impact that is like, all right, oh, we're worried about LeBron. Nah, LeBron, score your 30, score 40. That means these other guys ain't getting the rhythm and they ain't doing nothing. We cool with that.
yeah, you got a point there. You got a point there. But here's your optimism, Polo. I still think the Lakers getting the playoff with a healthy LeBron and a healthy AD. I'll still put money on them, bro. I'll still put money on them, just because of the simple fact of, I know 2020 is the past, but that duo pretty much ran through the playoffs, won a championship. And I don't care what nobody say, if Anthony Davis hadn't got hurt last season in that first round, they would have beat the Phoenix Suns, even with LeBron not 100%. So come playoff time, healthy LeBron, healthy Anthony Davis, the game still is going to slow down even more. I'm still going to ride with them and think they could do a little bit of damage.
Not if they don't find a way to get Russell Westbrook being effective, because it's at best it's hit and miss. And if you're going to get to where you need to get to, he's got to play effectively. He's got to have some type of positive impact.
Well, I've always felt that once the playoffs came around, that Russ's minutes were going to come down anyway because they're not going to allow. I figured it happened last night. What happened last night? Russ got benched in the final minutes. I figured that was probably going to happen around playoff time because they were not going to allow him to lose games for him. But shit, it happened last night. But I think that's how they'll manage him. They'll just manage his minutes. So he won't really hurt him too bad. But still, the duo of healthy LeBron and healthy AD, man, I still like them. Excuse me, over any duo in the Western Conference. Still,
I don't.
in the playoffs.
Someone has
Okay,
some
you said no. Okay, tell me a better duo right now in the Western Conference
What's the
with proven playoff experience.
Go ahead, scroll.
proven. There's no one proven, but I'm not. I can't worry about last year because I like last year, and I get it. Playoffs is playoffs. They have the experience a lot of other teams don't. But AD hadn't been doing too great this year, and the question, and we heard that's a lot of optimism to think he's going to be healthy going into the playoffs. I hope he is. That'd be nice, but I can't count on that. And with how they've been playing, there's certain teams, if they match up against them with or without AD, I think it's going to get ugly.
Polo, did you hear the story about AD trying to lose weight since he's been rehabbing his knee? So if you guys didn't hear that story, he reached out to I forgot his name, whatever it is, with Dallas, the coach that left the Lakers. Anyway, he reached out to him about losing weight or whatever. So my excuse for AD is he came into the season, he put on extra weight because he was going to play center, and it didn't work out for him. So hopefully during his rehab, man, hopefully he can lose 15 pounds or whatever, feeling a little bit better, and then maybe we'll see the old AD. It is a lot of optimism, man. It's a lot of ifs and it's a lot of optimism involved. I'll give you that. But I'm just saying, given the landscape, there's a couple of teams that have separated themselves, but with Golden State and Phoenix. But like I said, man, I really do feel the Lakers could have beat Phoenix last year if they were healthy. And if they're healthy this year, I think they could beat them. But time will tell.
Yeah, y'all Lakers fans angry about that, man. They was angry about Phoenix winning.
Yeah, the Lakers, I think they had that series until AD went down. Even with the hobbled LeBron. But anyway, man, that's last year. You don't need to talk about that anymore, man. But it's been a rough season for Laker fans, bro. That's for sure.
Oh, I need to.
Shit, seemed like it's worse this year though.
It is.
They already gave up. To me, I mean, I say this. No, Lakers. They already gave up. They already gave up. A lot of young assets for AD because Ron was missing that second guy but they still retained the youth. Then they did it again with Westbrook, and they gave their remaining youth for the players who basically plays his role. Only this time, they can only plug their holes in with the oldies, and that sounds good on paper. But Funny Mill could have landed some more solid young supportive role type player that could actually fit their system instead of just wasting on one guy. But I would say it just I'm not blaming Russ. I'm not that's no I'm not doing. I'm not just going to blame Russ. I'm just saying it's just the whole Laker system, the Laker problem. Because like I said, like I said, some are quick, some are quick come to his defense and argue that the coach, Woggy, can't be blamed for star players, court commanding to turnovers, granted by like I said before, the coaching staff had done a lousy job all season long, not having that, one belief factor is discussed is that maybe issues fading that, like I said, one of your star players gone, he hurt, boom, and now that just like if it was no one playing Phoenix, when you miss like when Phoenix they missed Devin Booker, boom, they hurt, boom, they missed Tatum, boom, hurt, like Polo with the same sisters lost Embiid, just like that, because like I said, the guys he's both offensive, defensive, so now is he hurt, and seeing this playing out between not only the players but the coaching staff, it's been ridiculous.
Okay, Stephen Green, salute to you, man. He made a bold. Nah, I ain't gonna say bold. He made a prediction though. He said his Suns can beat the Lakers even if y'all healthy. LA, man, let me hear from y'all. What y'all think? Man?
I think the Suns match up well against the Lakers with or without AD. That's me.
I feel like they can't. They can't really beat the Lakers because the ref might cheat for them. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. No, I'm just joking.
I've said this though. I've said this though. LA and Young and Scrub. Wait, what? Look, if AD was playing like he did in the bubble, and even minus the injuries, because you gotta realize he did get hurt while he was in the bubble too. Nobody can mess with the Lakers, and if Russell Westbrook was even a percentage of what he was doing while he was in see the thing about it is that Westbrook is my favorite player, but the thing about it is Russ has always done some of these things. It's just that everything is magnified because you are at LA. Everything is being critiqued. Everybody want to talk about the mecca of basketball in New York. To me, LA is a mecca of basketball too, because you're talking about Venice Beach, you're talking about Poly Pavilion. Hell, you're talking about the Drew League. You know what I'm saying? Shit, them places are meccas. What are you talking about? So when these people come there, man, these people know about Showtime. These people know about Wilt Chamberlain and the Jerry West era and the Kobe and Shaq era too as well. You know what I'm saying? So the expectations are super sky high through the roof. Listen, them motherfuckers got critique too. LA know what I'm talking about, and so do Young, and so do Scrub, and so do wait, what? When Kareem didn't play good in the finals, man, he had to hear it from LA. When motherfucking Kobe wasn't doing good and Utah, all that bullshit, guess what? He had to hear it. When Shaq wasn't doing good, shit like that coming in, out of weight, fat, out of shape, having to play his way back into shape, had to hear it. Tragic Johnson, we already know about that. Shoot, everybody else, you know what I'm saying? So the fans got expectations, man. You know what I'm saying? They got expectations. And if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you're going to hear it. You don't think Worthy was banged up? You don't think Kurt Rambis was banged up? You don't think AC Green was sacrificing his body? You don't think Michael Cooper was sacrificing his body? I don't want to hear none of this shit. Oh, I got to sit out. My neck, my back. Man, get your ass out there, man. And I tried to defend them, LA, but I can't no more. Shit, this is my neck, my back shit, man. They calling Karl Anthony Towns, man, the best big the best power forward and shit. Not you.
Oh God. Well, yeah, it's hard to defend what's been going on. Just no more excuses now, man. This is you passed the halfway mark of the season. So even LeBron said it himself the other day, we are what we say our records are. 500 sub 500 team. So at least nobody's over there fooling themselves or anything. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, get that shit away from me then. Oh, we are what we are. Motherfucker with shit. If we are what we are, then nigga make that shit better. That's look, you know what I'm saying? Like, you think Kobe gonna talk like that? Oh yeah, it is what it is. Man, Kobe just like, man, what the fuck, man? Nigga,
Nah,
I'ma
that's
elbow you in your motherfucking stomach like I did Vujicic to get your ass and wake your ass up, nigga. Even
mm,
if we got a scuffle, you know what I'm saying,
mm,
man? Get your motherfucking ass up, man. Byron Scott got motherfucking Charlotte. Even though Byron Scott wasn't good as a coach, he tried. Nigga, that motherfucker was losing. He had the LA mentality. He had these motherfuckers running 20 suicides in 20 minutes and shit. Like, come on, man.
yeah, that's
Come
just
on.
Polo. That's just the difference between LeBron and Kobe's mentality, man. LeBron's a great player and everything, man, but his mentality is just, it's just a little bit different, man. It's just a little bit different.
No, let's call it what it is. It's soft.
You said that, but yeah, some might look at it that way, but it's just different, you know. It's just
But
different. So
I mean, what he's doing in year 19, I'm not taking any of that shit away. What he's doing in year 19, man, is unprecedented, man. It's phenomenal. But hey, LA, you like me, Young, you like me, Scrub too, and so is wait, what? Everybody else up in here. Yeah, we got to get beyond that shit, nigga. I'm not gonna be looking at no motherfucking stats. The only column I'm gonna be looking at is the win and the loss column. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I don't give a fuck how many points I get. You think Jared Allen give a fuck about that shit? And look at the Cavs, man. They're not talking about your motherfucking ass. Oh, but they're not talking about the fucking Cavs. They sleeping on these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? They sleeping on all these motherfuckers. They don't want to pour in their marketing dollars into Memphis and Ja Morant, who is exciting to watch. Fucking, Golden State, all these other teams and shit like that. They rank 1 and 2 in defense. I think Golden State and Phoenix. Yeah, you could talk about all this offense all day and shit like that. No, them motherfuckers play defense. What you think Gary Payton Jr. doing? What you think Draymond was doing before he got hurt? What you think that motherfucking Andrew Wiggins, who's gonna be an all-star this year? Klay Thompson back, hit up 21. These motherfuckers can play defense too, man.
That's it. It's the game of basketball. You don't just play one end of the floor. You got to play both. And these Lakers got to find a way to play a lot better defensively than what they've been doing. It's as simple
And
as that.
they got the nerve enough to talk shit about a guy like Dennis Rodman and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Shit, hey, look, he partied and shit like that, but guess what? He came in the next day in fucking pajamas, nigga. Nigga, in pajamas, and still was outrunning motherfuckers. But hey, LA, that's from the sound of your voice, man. Is well, we'll
but hey, Polo,
we'll
if
just
y'all,
settle.
hey,
We'll settle for
if
mediocre.
you
Hell nah. If I
if
said that
you
shit, LA, you better go and get away from me.
Polo, if you could call up Daryl Morey and tell him to do us a solid,
Mm-hmm.
Lakers would be right back on track, man. Come on, y'all don't want him, so give him to the Lakers.
Oh, do y'all
You think
solid?
that
How
guy?
about you
Hold
work better
on,
with what
wait.
you got?
See, look, I'm glad you brought that shit up. Hey, go ahead, Scrub. I'm gonna go last. I'm gonna
Man,
shut up.
talking about do it solid, man.
Hey,
Knew you was solid.
LA did that shit on purpose. He know how the fuck I feel. Go ahead, man. I go last. Go.
Y'all don't want him, we'll take him.
That don't mean just because we don't want
You
him, don't mean
have
we
him.
just gonna give him away. What this look like?
Nigga, we winning without him.
Man.
Nigga, we got Maxey. Nigga, Embiid, man, even though I don't like that shit, he 50 points in less than 30 minutes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you do all that shit in the regular season, but let's see what the playoffs go. But man, we good with Maxey though, LA.
Yeah, that's why I said what I just said, man. Just let's do us a solid.
This nigga want Ben Simmons. Okay, so
we'll take Ben off your
look at
hands.
LA want Ben.
we'll get rid of the headache for you, and then send you a vet your way, man. Send you a vet.
Hey, you hear this, Scrub?
That sound like some captain. That sound like a cop out. Like, bruh, tell your team do better with what they got. Actually play like they know like they in the league, and then maybe you could get something. Then if you still trying to move guys, all right, now you can maybe get something you could get something for the guys you're trying to move. You can actually get what you're looking for. Do you a
I
solid?
hear you, but y'all just wasting Ben, bro. You're not even using them. So
Man,
what you
Ben
worried
wasted
about? You
Ben. He
ain't
didn't
using
want
them.
to. Ben wasted
Hey,
Ben. That's his own fault.
you gotta follow. You gotta listen. You gotta follow the guidelines. Dog, you brought that on yourself. You the one
Exactly.
that chose. You the one that chose in there to feel salty about some words and all this other stuff, holding out, claiming mental health issues, coming up in there, man, the cell phone in your pocket, all this other stuff, and don't want to come up in there and perform. Hey, that's on you. You Bonnie Piped yourself. You chatterbobbed yourself.
Man, y'all not using them, bro. Slide them to LA, man.
Hey,
That's where he belongs,
hey,
man.
I don't have no look. I don't have no motherfucking control over that. Look, I don't even like Daryl Morey like that, but I understand what he doing. What we supposed to do? Sit around? No, we got a player that we got to develop in Maxey, who has way more potential than Ben Simmons. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Listen, that's a good. Okay, Ben Simmons going over there. I'm not gonna lie to you, LA. From a because I've always said this. Scrub knows this. Young, everybody, y'all listen to my videos.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have nothing against him talent wise and athleticism wise. You know what I have a problem with is his personality. Do you really honestly think that he's subject to what, fly straight like a Odell Beckham over there with the LA Rams?
Yeah. Because he'll be playing with LeBron. He'll be playing with LeBron. That's why.
Here's my question: the first sign of adversity, is he actually going to do something? Is he going to take accountability? Is he going to go back to doing the same thing he's always done? Because
He's not gonna have to worry about that because they're gonna blame everything on LeBron, bro. So Ben Simmons is not really gonna have to answer too many questions. All the questions are gonna go to LeBron and AD.
Man, they're gonna expect them to play that defense, and if they ain't doing well defensively, they're gonna be like, oh, they're gonna say, hey, Ben Simmons ain't doing this or that. Like, bruh, come on.
Yeah, but it was just a thought. But
I think he'll be just as much as the fall guy, LA.
Exactly.
Nah, because he's a young player, man, and whatever you guys might think his deficiencies are, he could get better.
The media been killing him, and he's young. They ain't made no excuses for him.
No, what I'm saying is
absolutely was ripping him for about a month.
But he could get better though, right? Ben Simmons is still young. He can get better.
Does he want to get better?
Yeah, he can, but his window. He coming up on his 5th year at LA. Look, man. He gotta at least be like he was doing it at St. Joe's or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Illegally. You gotta at least be, developing your jumper, developing some sort of offensive game right now, or getting somewhat better right now, or else you're just gonna be what you are. After your 5th or 6th year, man.
And I've seen Ben Simmons drain threes, in practice and shoot arounds and all that.
Yeah, practice, social media to get the likes so he can get some ass. Everybody gonna do that. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, but
because he wants the pussy. That's what he wants. Man, he wants the likes, so he can. Oh my God, Ben Simmons, and get all them Kardashians, and get all them Jenners, and get all them motherfucking sinners, and all them they're coming from LA and Vegas, and porn stars and shit, IG hoes. That's what he wants.
He want the money and the fame, but
he
ain't willing to put in
go out there. You ain't Jared Allen, man. Ain't had your hair cut in a minute, but that nigga going out there, 14 boys, 15, 15 boys, about 6 blocks, and 18 winning. Man, dog, come on, man. That's a nigga I want on my team. Nigga, go cut your motherfucking hair. Nah, I'm going to the gym. Oh, but Ben Simmons like, nah, I gotta go get a lineup, man. Hey, Scrub, I gotta go get a lineup, man. You know who coming into town? Who? Man, Kim Kardashian. Ain't she married? Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'm still. Never mind. Let me shut up.
It ain't gonna be nothing. Because the next thing I'm gonna say is if his dude don't get out of my face with this BS.
Oh wait, she going through a divorce anyway. But
look, I'm gonna put like this with Ben. I'm quite disappointed that Embiid, who was a center, and he didn't start playing basketball until he was 15, was able to win and improve his game to help facilitate the fit with Simmons by improving his 3-point percentage to 30% in the regular season, 39% in the playoff. Yet Simmons, who was the point guard, wasn't willing to even attempt to prove his game to help facilitate the fit with Embiid. Now, I think it's very frustrating to me. Looking at him, I feel like he doesn't care about the game because he withdrew from playing from Australia in the Olympics to work on his game. But watch him not attempt any threes when the regular season comes. Like, he's privileged and spoiled, you know.
Well, sorry to cut you off, Essean, but we seen this in college. He didn't want to be. I get it. Like, I get the rules is some BS, but he didn't want to play. He didn't really want to be there at LSU. We saw signs of it there.
We got a 1.9.
We saw signs of it there. We seen in the NBA. Like, if he don't want to get serious about it, that's on him. But why? And it's unfortunate because, like, bro, you have the talent. You got the opportunity. They're giving you every opportunity to succeed. Why are you shooting yourself in the foot?
He's just doing this to himself because he's a beast defensively side, but he still can be a good player. But he just gotta want it for himself as a first start. Will be good, but he don't want it. What's that said about yourself? What's that said about yourself? He would have rather just throw a tantrum and demand to be sent to the best situation like a spoiled brat than actually stay and actually try and prove on his weakness. And that's right there, someone that no team want on their roster.
Exactly.
And imagine it's just very bad because these players, they sabotage their team and try to force their way out after signing a contract. Should be forced to pay Vance for the rest of their NBA career, and a portion of their salary should go towards raising the team. They screw over salary cap. Because I always say though, he's afraid. Ben is afraid because you can see fear in him. He's afraid. Because people be like, people be like, why you think he's afraid now? I said, you check game 7. That man didn't want to score over a guy that's 6'2", that's 6'2", 3, small guy. He's bigger than him, and you decide to pass it. And then also the problem is when a legend like Kobe is trying to train to improve his jump shot, and you refuse, because now that's gonna be a problem because that's gonna make teams said, I don't want him. I don't want him on my team. He is the talent that will remain the same. He is who he is. You can't win a shit with him because he's stubborn. And one thing is that I question his work ethic and his mental toughness because anyone can become a good 3-point shooter, a foul shooter with enough practice and the right guidance to assume no typical physical handicap. Only have a right hand. When I was younger, and I shot like with 2010, just trying to prove my other hand. But this guy is making means to play basketball for Pete's sake. In the minute, I don't see the situation where players just can go and join whatever team they want and team up with whatever they want. And if you're not gonna put in the work on joining that team, then why the fuck you want to go in that team? It's fortunate he isn't the player that would make an easy guidance team because he definitely lower his values. Seems not to be focused on develop his game. I feel like San Francisco should just let him go, just release him. But they can't now. They can't now. I don't know what more they can get for him. I think the other teams are now just doesn't want him to bring that franchise. So they don't want you. So in the playoff, if you want to join the team, how can I trust you when we seen that playoff stink against Atlanta? So
for me, from the outside looking in, I haven't really followed Ben that much, but I saw the fear in his eye, when the stuff went down the playoffs or whatever. But from my point of view, that just really looked like somebody who didn't want to be there. He just really he was over that situation, over that team. Scared of the big moments? I don't know, but I'm just saying. I just think he wants to be out of there. So a certain part of me, I don't know Ben Simmons like you guys know him, but a certain part of me feels like he was doing some of that shit to get traded. Now, I don't know if I'm coming from left field with that or if this is making any sense to you guys at all, but I'm just saying for me, from the outside looking in, it almost looks like Ben was doing shit to get traded.
Oh, of course. There's he was a lot of this stuff this offseason. Certainly, it was for the purpose of getting traded. It backfired on him. Now he's not getting paid. The Sixers are having success without him. So what? Ben's stuck now. He has no one to blame but himself and his agent. Well, really himself, but his agent did him no favors either.
Oh, you mean Rich Paul?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just a big game of chicken. Who's gonna blink first? Is it gonna be Clutch Sports or is it gonna be Daryl Morey? And we're gonna have the season, and we'll see. We'll see who's gonna blink first.
The Sixers are in a position of power. They don't have to pay him a thing because he don't want to get himself on the field. He don't want to get himself on the court, so they hold all the cards.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's not getting any money, but I would think Clutch Sports thought about this before. I mean, a holdout. I would think that they thought this through. So, but I agree with you. 76ers have all the power, but the longer that this goes, it kind of shifts to the other side because at some point, Ben is still a third of their payroll, right? So it's easy for somebody to say they could just get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a third of your payroll that you could be using on other players, or because if something happens to Embiid, if something happens to the other young point guard, now you're stuck. And Ben is at home chilling, then it kind of makes it look like, well, look, we got to get something for him because he's not doing us any good just sitting at home. So we'll see. We'll see if the 76ers just give up and trade him to the best offer available, because I don't think Ben is going to play again in Philly. I don't think so. I just don't see it happening. The fans are going to be on his ass. They're going to throw shit at him. It just ain't going to work. So it's just pretty much on the 76ers to decide when they're tired of the BS and they got to come up off them.
Basically, they're waiting for the best deal. And if that means they got to wait however long, either they'll wait for him to just shoot himself in the foot and run out all his money, or they'll get a deal for him. But his value is going to keep going down. So at some point, it does just become, all right, we're just going to load him off. But this situation could have been avoided. Yeah, that's the sad part. It's a situation that didn't need to happen. That's currently happening. And, you hate to see guys with the ability to do something and just waste it because of whatever the reason is. It's nothing. There's no reason. There's no solid reason for him to do this. Nothing that we be like, all right, no, I understand why he's going about it the way he is. It's folly.
It's bad. It's not gonna go. It's just not good. It's not good at all because he said no, this Philly. I feel like what team gonna get him? No team want him, and
the Lakers will take him for Westbrook.
But the Sixers don't want Westbrook.
I know, man. But brother man said nobody wants him. Well, I think there's teams that definitely won't be Simmons. At what price though?
See that.
Yeah.
No, there's some teams who'll be willing to take him, but it's all depend on the price. I'm not gonna give up
All right,
all my
so you
assets
tell me
for
this.
this guy.
So, because I heard about this trade. So you tell me this: if you're the Warriors GM, because I heard about this trade, you were willing to take him over Draymond Green, Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, and them guys.
Not now.
Okay.
Nah.
Maybe before the season started, but at this point, no. We're too far in. He missed. There were opportunities and they passed, and here you are now. So it is what it is.
And this is the reason why I say Philly is losing the leverage, because you have a punk ass team like the Sacramento Kings who openly saying they want Ben Simmons, but they're not willing to trade their best player to get him. The Kings say we'll trade for Ben Simmons, but we're not gonna move De'Aaron Fox. So if a little punk team like the Kings are putting stipulations on the trade, other teams are definitely not going to put their best foot forward, for a Ben Simmons deal either, because if the Kings don't have to, the other teams don't have to do it either. So that's why I kind of feel like 76ers are kind of losing leverage a little bit, because teams are playing hardball. And Morey's trying to hold out for the best deal, draft picks and all that kind of shit, man. It's not going to happen in this situation. I don't think.
Nah. We're a little too far in. It's too far in at this point. Like, you, if you're gonna move him, it's get what you can and move on.
Mm-hmm.
Or just hold on to him and he doesn't get paid, and you just got a body. That it's the only thing that's taking up is cap space, because it ain't for the organization. It ain't costing them anything this season, so you just deal. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you, Jones. I'm gonna head out.
All right, bro. Yeah, I think I'm gonna head off myself. TJ, S Young, Polo, hey, and then chat, salute. Have a great day. Go.